Good morning, everybody. We're out here and it is rough. It is anything but calm. We spent the morning trying to catch some goggle eye. We got about 2 dozen in the well, so that's just enough to fish. It's pretty sporty out here, as you can tell. We got all our bibs on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pull a few drifts, fish till like noon or 2 maybe. We got some beautiful blue water, ripping south wind, which is going to be perfect for the kite. So we're just kind of trying to get set up. When I came out here, the first thing I like to do is turn the motors off and see the way we drift, because right now we're drifting straight north. We're not really drifting in or out. Based on that is where I'm going to set our initial depth. So I want to be in like that 140 to 200 foot range of water. And yeah, how you feeling, Brian? You feeling fishy?
I mean, I feel fine. It's exciting out here. Nice and rocky, but it's beautiful.
Nice and rocky. Dennis, poor Dennis. I know filming in the rough is not easy, is it?
Not good.
No. I already got his camera bag soaked, so that was my fault.
Guy doesn't close the net, he said.
He said, "Are you sure it's closed?" And I was like, "Yep, it wasn't closed." But sometimes these are the best days when it's rough out here, no one out, the fish don't have a lot of pressure. There's been a lot of tuna around. Last video you guys saw, we caught that big wahoo. Springtime is by far, if you're ever planning a trip to Florida for fishing, you want to be here April, May, and June. That is the 3 best months for every single species in Florida. So we try to fish our butts off during those 3 months. Rain or shine, rough or not, you just got to get out here because it's really fishy out. So we'll get the spread out and hopefully put some fish in the boat. Nothing like a freshly caught goggle eye. They got that beautiful yellow stripe on them. Brian says, "Let me get a dead bait so I could drift it." I said, "Why do you want a dead bait when we got these? We just spent 2 hours catching live bait." And he wants to put out a dead one.
You know what's funny? Yesterday, I wanted to put a live bait out, and he said, no, put a dead bait out. So today I said, I want to put a dead bait out. And he's like, no, gotta use a live bait.
That was a different type of fishing. That was bottom fishing. All right, so what we're doing, Ryan's got a flat line over there. I'm gonna put a second one out. We got 3 kite baits working the surface. And I'm a big fan of kite fishing. It gets your leader out of the water. It gets your bait frantically panicking on top of the water. And it's a great way to fool fish, especially when it comes to tuna, sailfish, kingfish, and dolphin. So that's what we're doing here.
It's also fun.
It is fun because you're constantly looking at your bait. You get to see the bite. You're always doing something. It's not lazy man's fishing. You know, it's a lot of work, but it's super rewarding, especially when you see a big wahoo or something eat your bait on top of the water. So real important, I'm always looking at my bobbers and I'm always looking to see what my bait's doing. If I see my bobber shooting to one direction, left or right, it usually means that there's something underneath it. And my short bait right here was really freaking out. You can, oh, see, something's trying to eat him. You see it, Dennis? He's really scooting to one direction. Oh, it's a little dolphin.
Oh, you see it?
Yeah, I think he's got it. I think he has it. Yeah, he's on there. Yep, little dolphin. See, that's the most exciting thing, is you see every single fish that you're gonna hook. Woo! Can you, woo! I mean, he's a keeper. Little dolphin to start the day. We'll let him settle down, not get the boat all bloody, but so you see all these fish. I just see this little green shadow coming underneath my bait. And a lot of times those smaller fish, they don't really have that much strength to pop the kite clip. But a big fish, a sailfish, a big king or wahoo, they'll just, sometimes they zing, your reel will start screaming. But that little guy, he was kind of just playing with the bait. But we got our first fish in the boat. Beautiful blue water. I think there's a fish. I think there's a fish on it. Like he's got it maybe. He doesn't want to come out of the water, so I'm guessing there's something on there. Yeah, there's a fish on here. There's a fish on here. I saw a really big splash out in the distance. And sure enough, I think it's another little dolphin. Think we got another mahi. Another fish that could barely pop the kite clip. They look so cool in the water, don't they? Look at that.
Both of them spit the don't know what.
Hey, he's a little bigger. I like to put them right in the fish box, let them calm down because they're hard to unhook when you first catch them. So let them calm down a little bit, get your hook out, don't get your boat bloody. But that's 2 dolphin back to back. And once we find a depth range that we like, so both these fish were in 170, we're not really drifting in, so we'll kind of just stay on this line because you can see that the fish are into the current, feeding in this kind of depth. So one thing with this, you could get real lazy with kite fishing and just leave your bobbers just above the water, but ideally you want them just below the surface or a few feet below. So the way the kite works, obviously it's wind driven, but the wind's not consistent. So the kite's always going up and down, and with that, your lines are moving up and down. So when you guys hear this the whole time, that's us putting it, letting out some line, raising them up, because you want those baits nice and up top and frantic. Okay, so the most important thing with this type of fishing is being able to see. I'm looking at a tiny little orange bobber in the horizon, and luckily it's overcast. A lot of times there's a huge glare, especially in the afternoon when you're looking directly into the sun. And you guys always hear me talk about my sunglasses, and as a fisherman I rely on them. They're a tool that helps me catch fish. I rock Waterlinko sunglasses and have for the past 2 years, and I cannot say enough good things about them. I got Dennis a prescription pair. They make kids sunglasses, women's, children's, prescription. And I'm telling you right now, you know, for the past 20 years as a fisherman in my life, I've rocked so many different brands. Best pair of shades you'll ever put on your head. They got blue, green, a bunch of different colored glasses. And yeah, so if you guys want, you can save a little money. Use my code LANDSHARK. I'll have it linked below as well as on the screen here, or you guys can go to waterlinko.com. I promise you, your eyes will thank you. Big sailor. Oh, sail, huh? I thought it was a dolphin. Top, right? Yeah. I think he's underneath it. Oh my God. Oh boy, I'm tangled in all these. Oh, that's not even the right rod, is it? I don't know which one he's on. I thought he was on this one. But guess not. He's got to be on...
A little hectic there.
Yeah, I don't think he's on any of them. I think he just jumped and spit it. Okay.
Oh, blessing these guys.
Well, we just had a sailing fish, Atlantic sailing fish, and he created quite the big mess. Ran through all our lines.
If there's one song that would raise any fish in the world, what song would it be?
Probably Down with the Sickness. Wouldn't it be? But it's Disturbed, Down with the Sickness, that's probably it. I don't know, maybe some AC/DC, some Thunderstruck. What do you think? What's your guess?
Those are great fishing boat songs, no doubt.
You guys comment down below what song you think would raise them. Those are my 2 picks.
Brian, how about you?
I can't think of any songs that.
You can't think of any songs?
What about a Prince song? Some Britney Spears. That's
No,
what we need. Some
no
Britney
way.
Spears Toxic.
No way.
Oh, you should have seen us catching tuna in California to Britney Spears. Full blast. Multiple songs. Dennis knows. A little Toxic, a little Give Me More.
That song got me into the Twilight Zone while fighting that tuna.
Hey, you got a fish. What do we got? Another little mahi? All right, all 3 baits on the Kite got hit and hooked up. Thank you, Dennis, for the assist. I swear, when Dennis is on the Kite rod, he makes things happen. He's the one who summoned that wahoo the other day. That's convenient. Sometimes you'll get one fish that eats one bait and you got to bring all the baits in, and then it's kind of a pain in the butt, but we got all 3 baits eaten on one drift. This one's staying deeper. Maybe we got ourselves a little tuna fish. I got tuna tail beats. Uh-huh. Either a tuna or a bonito. No. No, I think it's a tuna or a bonito, but I'm leaning more towards tuna because he's digging deep. Yeah, I think it's a tuna. You gonna get ready with the gaff, Ryan? Oh yeah. Doggy and bonito on the Kite. This has a fish on. And it's stuck in this one. It's a big fish, Dennis, but it's stuck in this bobber right here. Oh, wait. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We just moved out to 200 feet. And as soon as we got out here, we got a nice bite. And what we did is, instead of reeling in the Kite, we actually just left the baits in the water and slowly idled out here. Feels good. Feels like a tuna. It's digging deep. That's why you never know. You always got to play around with the depths and the area you're working at.
Did you see it?
I saw the bobber shoot under, but I didn't see it come up top. I think it's a tuna. Feels really good. Feels big. Oh yeah. Blowing some line. Give me a big tuna fish. Give me a 1 pound fish. Gonna need your expert gaffing here in a second, Brian.
In a second?
I'd love to gaff your fish, but you're silent on that side with your baits. Yeah, this one, as soon as we got out here, I just saw the boober. The bobber just shoot under the water. You better leave that in, Dennis. The boober. I'm getting very foul hooked-esque vibes from this fish. It's foul hooked, it's right there. Or tail wrapped or something. It's a blackfin, Brian. Yeah, it's a nice blackfin. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Oh, now he's hooked right. Oh, he's hooked, right?
Yep, he was tail wrapped. Good blackfin on. Hey, we found him out deep. Here you go. Nice job. Look at that chunker. Woo!
Dude, he's heavy.
Woo!
He's heavy.
That's a proper one.
Waterball.
Listen, I told you, my boober went under the water. Woo! Good gaff shot, Brian. All right, now that's about as big as they come. Beautiful blackfin tuna on the kite bait. Moved out deep here, and we got rewarded big time. Look at that gorgeous fish. Those huge pectoral fins on them. We're gonna be eating some good sushi. Poor Brookie can't have this fish raw, but I'm sure she'll enjoy it still. All right. So I am gonna bleed that big tuna. Look at him. He's almost as big as the fish box. I'm gonna bleed him. Right here, I just use my finger and I get in this artery right here, and he'll start bleeding out. There he goes. Let's bury him nicely in this ice. This is a different day than what you guys just saw, but if you look in the cooler right here, we got a bag full of grouper, a bag full of mutton snapper. We've been fishing like the last 3 or 4 days, and I just had all my fish on ice, so just filleted them. Caught a 14-pound mutton this morning, super stoked. But this big tuna, you guys guess how much it weighs? Right now, comment down below before I give you the answer. It's big. Tuna are very deceiving for their weight because they're so dense and thick. They're round, you know? They have a lot of body weight there. So scale zeroed out. Ugh, it's heavy. How much we got, Dennis?
30.18.
31. That's, you catch a couple of these?
30.18.
Oh, 30.18. You catch a couple of these during a meat tournament and you are in the money, my friend. And tuna can be a little challenging to fillet, but I'm going to show you guys my favorite way to do it that I think is pretty easy, that makes it easy. So since they're so round, when you fillet one side and you take it off, the other side is a lot tougher to fillet. But what I'm going to show you, we're going to actually fillet, we're going to trace both sides of the fish before we actually fillet it. So I'll start right here by the tail, get my knife through the thick tuna skin, and I'm going to go up from the tail, up to the head, and ovaries right here, they got a really thick plate for their dorsal fin. It's kind of tough to get through, but you get a sharp knife, you just go right through it. Anybody who's ever filleted tuna knows that is the toughest part, and you guys see how easily this Dexter just glided through it. I'm saying boobers, I'm saying glid. I can't get my words right. But 8-inch Dexter Sportfish knife. I'll have it linked below for you guys, and you can actually save 20% off all Dexter knives. Use my code Landshark. So I did that side. Now instead of taking this whole side off, I'm gonna flip them over. And you know, a smaller tuna I wouldn't do this, but since this one's big, I'm gonna trace them from both sides because it's just gonna make my life so much easier. So start right there by the tail. Once again, going up. Because this is the hardest part, is your initial trace. See, it's really tough right there. All right, so we traced them out right there. Both sides are intact. So I'm able to get my knife really nicely on the spine. And because if I took one side off, he's just gonna be flopping over. And it just makes it that much harder to fillet. So flip them this way. Let's make our head cut. And there's a lot of people who actually think that blackfin is inferior to yellowfin. Personally, I can't taste the difference. The only thing you don't get with these blackfins that we have in Florida is they just don't get as big as yellowfin, so you don't get those nice big meaty steaks that you would with the yellowfin. But taste-wise, I can blindfold you. I promise you won't be able to tell the difference. I'm going to trace the bottom of the fish. So I'm just making my outlines here. Not gonna go in the guts, I'm just right above them. We'll do the same thing on this side. Trace our fish. Okay, now we gotta trace them this way. They got pretty thick skin. They definitely tear down on your knife, so you gotta make sure it's nice and sharp. And something with a thicker edge and blade that could really get through their tough exterior. They're very bony fish, thick skeletal structure. So now I basically have him filleted from both sides. Now you can make one big slab. You know what, I'll show you both ways. I'm gonna show you what it looks like when you slab one side, and then also when you run your knife down the middle, which you guys may have seen in the past as well. Okay, so I'm gonna go on top of the spine right now, because I should have freed up most of the meat from the other side. But just to be safe, we'll tilt our knife down right there. And I know this looks like a lot of steps, but I'm just trying to show you guys the different ways to go about this. So now what you can do is, if you have them traced from both sides, you can take your knife, go down the middle of the fish, make sure everything's free. All right, now watch this. You should have a perfect piece of Blackfin tuna. This one's super oily, man. He went straight onto the ice, but he's got a lot of good fat content in him. So now what you can do is you can see their bloodline right there that runs along the center of the fish. If you take your knife and you go on one side of it and go all the way down to the center of the tail, you should be able to pull your loin right off, just like so. So ready, Dennis? Look at this. See, you got one loin right there. See, there's your bottom loin. This way, we just split it down the middle, and that way we had a whole slab. But it's the same general idea. We got lots of tuna to eat. We'll see you guys in the kitchen. Okay, I want you guys to take a look at this. I've eaten a lot of tuna in my day, and this is Blackfin tuna. Compared to something like a yellowfin or a bluefin, they generally don't have much fat content. So when I filleted this fish, I was like, man, this looks super fatty. When you fillet some fish, you can really feel it on your fingers. And if you guys see that white, that a lot of times tunas will get something known as burnt meat. That's not this in this case. This tuna was bled and iced immediately. Sometimes you get the occurrence where you just get a really fatty tuna depending on their diet. And this tuna is fatty, which means it's gonna have a ton of flavor. So we got the food processor out. You see a bunch of vegetables here. We're gonna first get our tuna into fine little chunks. We're basically gonna mince it. So I'm not gonna overcrowd the food processor, but let's go in with about a third at a time. And we're gonna put into this big bowl, and then we're gonna do our vegetables next. There we go. So you see, you get it real fine. I don't want to keep going because then it's going to turn real gummy and kind of turn into like a paste. So we're just going to do this in quick little batches. And the reason I didn't put all the vegetables in with the tuna was because I want to do it in separate batches so I can get the consistency I want for the tuna as well as the vegetables. Now, next, this is just cut up ginger and garlic. We're gonna do some red onion. Let's just do that for now, and then we'll put in our peppers. Garlic, ginger, a lot of good smells and aromas in there. All right, now we're going in with our green, orange, and red bell peppers. Now that is complete. So we got all the stuff that we need chopped for our tuna burgers. Next up, in order for this to be like a homogeneous mixture and for them to not fall apart, I'm gonna use a binding agent. So we're gonna go in with 2 whole eggs. It'll help keep everything nice and tight to be able to form our patties. Some seasoned salt. A good amount of chopped cilantro. Okay, and then sesame oil. Go with about that much. Now the fun part. Let's break these egg yolks first and get to mixing. I promise you it doesn't look the best right now, but it smells amazing. There's a lot of really just vibrant, good flavors going on. And then the meat will get much more firm once you subject it to the heat, and we're still going to coat them in some panko breadcrumbs, give them a nice little crunch. Okay, so now just take it and we're just gonna form patties. So however big you want. And the cool thing about this is if you wanted to make meatballs, you could do so many different things with this. So like a traditional fish cake, right? Or like, I know in Vietnamese dishes, they do like fish balls for soups. You could make these into these really small, smaller balls and boil them. Or you can do what I'm about to do, coat them in some panko, just like so. And then we're gonna pop these back in the fridge so they stay nice and firm. And yeah, so I got quite a bit of work ahead of me. I'll see you guys in the next step. Now we're gonna do a cucumber salad to go with our fish. In here, just got some red onion, cucumber. We're gonna go in with some matchstick carrots as well. Pre-sliced by Publix. Going in with some rice vinegar, some sugar, and then we'll do salt and pepper, and I'll probably add some more vinegar. But I want to let this go first so it sits for at least 30 minutes so we have a chance for all those vegetables to absorb that vinegar. Basically doing a quick pickle. And then this rice vinegar that I use, it's not like a regular vinegar. It's actually got a sweetness to it, which is going to pair very nicely with this style salad. We got the oil. Let's see how hot it is. We'll drop a piece of something in there. That's hot enough. Looks good to me. So we're going to go in with our patties. All right. Okay, so we'll let those go. All right, they are ready to be flipped. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. I could smell all those peppers and onions and ginger and garlic coming to life too. Yeah, baby. Okay, we are ready to come off the oil. Good golden brown color on these guys. And as they come off, I'm gonna hit them with some salt. Okay, hit these with salt.
Seems like a great alternative to like a nice tailgate action.
Yeah, some tuna burgers for the boys. Hey, if you're showing up to the tailgate with tuna burgers, you already won. You already won the game. Now, to go on top of our tuna burgers like a finishing sauce, real simple. Some sweet Thai chili. Some of this stuff right here. This is such a versatile thing to use. You could mix this with mayo, you could use it on its own. And since this is so sweet and savory, I want to dilute it with a little lime juice, freshen it up a little bit. So I'm going with some lime juice. A little sesame oil. Mix, 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 mix. Well, we were able to get the 7th plater in there. So 3 batches for, I think I did 6, 6, and 7, 19 patties. Even if we don't eat them all tonight, this is, my thing is, I never like to eat fish the next day unless it's fried. or has some type of fried component. I will eat these for breakfast, lunch, and dinner tomorrow. There's a lot of food. But Brooke said she could eat at least 2, so I'm assuming the boys are gonna eat maybe 3. Dennis, how many are you gonna have? 10?
10?
Damn.
When you don't have a bun, you know, it makes you wanna, I don't know, have more than one.
Okay. I'll finish it off with some fresh cilantro. So we got the tuna cakes. I'm giving you guys the spread. Put a little sweet Thai chili sauce on there. Fisher's going down with some cucumber salad. And then I didn't show you guys this, but I just made some jasmine rice. First, I toasted it in some olive oil and then put a nice knob of ginger and garlic in there with the boiling water and then removed it out just to give it some aroma and flavor. And a lot of salt.
So today, Victor made great fish sandwiches, and because of that, he decided not to go with the bun for a dinner. And I'm kind of glad we didn't get the buns, only because these fish cakes are so substantial. They're really like a hearty meal in these little patties, and they taste real good, and definitely mixes it up. You don't get anything like this that often, but they're very good, and there's a lot of color in them. It's something to try.
So every time you eat a meal at this table, you're eating and thinking about what you're going to say. And it's always like, I can always picture anything that's in front of me here as being in a 5-star restaurant. No matter what it is, that's what I picture it, because the flavors, the taste, the way it's prepared is just always so spectacular. I feel like, yeah, I could eat this for, $100, it's just always that good.
$100 fish cakes, I'll take it.
I agree with Brian says. I feel very special eating here every time they invite us. Something simple like a fish cake. He just makes it gourmet, and I love the panko crispness. Pairs well with his cucumber salad. Delicious. Thanks, babe.
No problem.
Really good. I don't know what I was expecting, but I like how it was like crunchy on the outside and like soft, and all these different ingredients on the inside. Again, everything pairs well together, so really good job.
I agree with Gabby said. She didn't know what to expect. And I even watched Victor put this together. I watched him throw all those ingredients in that thing. And just all those flavors together, like the ginger like really comes out, and it's like an exceptional flavor. Incredible. We've never had a fish cake like this before, and it's very, very good. Something you wouldn't normally think of tuna. I feel like a lot of times when we cook tuna, you guys like get upset, like why would you cook that tuna instead of eating it raw? Well, we are just so lucky that we do get to catch so much fish that we're always trying to switch things up so it's not the same all the time. So like, yes, 100% you could have ate this fish raw, but switching it up is an incredible thing too. And like when you have raw fish, or when you have a tuna, you want to eat it raw those first couple days, and then you want to start thinking about putting into cook recipes. So it's nice to have things on your plate that you can, things in your recipe book that you can try to cook your fish different ways. Does that make sense?
Yeah. She said it all, so I'm not going to say anything else. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'm happy with it. I'm happy to share the fish with everyone. Until the next one, see you.